Hello, Jaime back from Inky and Scrappy with my Let's Start Stamping series. I think I have everything pulled that I'm going to use. We'll see. That's what the pause button is for and editing. So anyways, I thought it would pull in the new I like big butterflies from Fawn. I think they're fun and whimsical. I think we're using those. I think we're watercoloring today with Zig Real Brush or Clean Color Real Brush watercolor pens. If you don't have them, it's fine. You can use watercolor. Like the cheap stuff works just fine. If you have distress ink pads, you can smush them on your mat and watercolor with those. I watercolor with tons of different things, so don't feel that you have to have the Zigs for this one. There's many other brands out there that are a water brush style marker. I have the Karen's. I'm not, and this is like a pigment pen, but you can also kind of like get a similar effect with them, I think. I'm not good at those, so I'm not going to use them. The H2O watercolor pencils work fine, like the Tim Holtz Distress ones. I'm still working on those. I like to make my product wet before I use them. Just, it gets a better, richer color. Anyways, let's see, anything else watercolor wise? You can definitely do alcohol markers on these, kind of doing a similar technique. You know, you're gonna put your shading and your highlights kind of in the same order, so just kind of keep that in mind. You can do one marker, three layers is going to give you a darker tone than one layer. So if you're trying to get that darker, deeper tone on one area and lighter on the other to give you a highlight, keep that in mind. Other than that, I think I'm going to use the VersaFine Onyx Black for coloring today. I haven't decided if we're heat setting the images with clear embossing powder. I'm on the fence on that one at the moment. I also thought it would be fun to bring in the little spin swivel thingies that I have. Where I have them. I don't know where they are. Okay, so these are on Amazon. I will list the link below. They're on some of my other videos that I've done. This is the larger size. This is the 10mm size. There's also a smaller size, which would work okay for this one. These ones are fairly thin, so, you know, maybe like a shaker card thickness and not so much like, I have some huge ones and they're like double this. They're just like really tall. It's just not very feasible for mailing. So I think we're going to bring in, I don't know if we're going to use these or the smaller ones, because I have the smaller ones too that I think will work for this one. Let's see, they're here somewhere. I found them. Yeah, I know. I am still trying to unpack from retreat last weekend. Anyways, so this one is the smaller one. I think these ones are the 5mm ones. These ones will work on this because it's a smaller image, and I don't foresee it being, you know, a big deal. I think I might just do it on one of them and kind of do, I'm thinking a panel. I'm not sure yet. You know me, I haven't figured it out yet. I plan on using the Boho patterned collection from Scrapbook.com, and then of course they have the coordinating cardstock colors that go well with it. I'll probably use, because we're butterflies, I was thinking of using the floral pattern on that one mostly. I was also planning on bringing in the Lisa Horton Compositions Set B, and I think we'll build kind of from there. And I do have the Henry's Build a Sentiment Butterfly. So I think we're going to get started. I have Bristol Smooth out. I don't think I need my paper cutter for this portion yet. I did pull out my marker color. So I have the 90, I think it's a 90 set of the Zig Clear Color markers. I swatched all of them onto Bristol Smooth cardstock so I can see kind of what those colors are going to look like without having to pull them out and testing them first. Granted, this may be a little, I don't want to say watered down, a little sun bleached, because, you know, it's out, but it's not out. So I'm also going to bring in the clear blender pen from Zig today. You can definitely do Tombow. Tombow has a similar, is this it? Tombow has a and 00, which is the same thing. It's just a water, kind of like a water brush, but I think it's more controlled than an actual water brush. I do have a water brush. It's here somewhere. I haven't used them a whole lot lately. Sometimes I'm good with them, sometimes I'm not very good with them. So you have multiple options. If you're looking for something that's travel friendly, those would be, this one would be probably your best for water brush. You know, paint, watercolor would be one of these. Get familiar with it, learn how to use it. You'll love it in the end. So I picked a couple of pinks, a blue, like a dark blue and a lighter blue, a couple of greens. We'll see how they go with my pattern paper. That one is a stupid light group. Okay, and then so for the orange, I didn't find the right orange, so I pulled in the light brown. Let's see, this is 061, the pale orange, which is 054, the mid gray, which is 096, and I picked this one because it's kind of got a brownish warm undertone, so thinking about the butterfly body, that's a possibility. My greens, I'm going 044, which is a deep green, and then 048, which is an emerald green. Pale pink, which is 028, and dark pink, which is 027. And for my blues, I have 035, which is a deep blue. I'll either water this one out. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if the dull blue, which is 034, is going to blend well. And then I did bring in the shadow mauve, which is 303, which is actually like a bluish with a tint of lavender in it maybe, for my blue tones. I don't know if I'm going to use them all. I just wanted options, and they're kind of at the ready. So I'm going to, because I'm planning on doing one on a spitter, I need a piece for that one, and then I need one piece for, I think I want to do kind of like a sky scene with them and put some of those on there and maybe make my middle one a spinner. I haven't decided. We know this. This is how I roll. Okay. So keeping in mind that I kind of want to use this big panel for that one on here, you won't need to die cut it. You could definitely just use your paper cutter and kind of cut out. Where's this one? Ooh, so close yet so far away. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to kind of just lay this on here kind of as my guide. I should probably bring in my stamp platform. That might help. Alrighty. And yes, we're gonna, okay, I'm just gonna put this one here and this one here and kind of move these off. Now keep in mind, I can definitely move this wherever. I just kind of want to know, conserve, I don't need to conserve paper on this one, but ultimately kind of my area that I'm working with. So I think I want to do this little one. Ooh, where do I want to do this little one? Which one do I want to spin? I think we'll do this one as our spin. Okay. And then I have this one on the side. So this one's going to face this way. This one is going to face... Oh, there's so many cute ones. I like butterfly. So thinking that this one's going to go there. I want to kind of set these ones out a little bit. I think we're good there. I will bring in the trails later on. Let's see. Hoist to you, flap. You are so fly. Sending smiles. I don't know if I want a speech bubble on there. Okay. I could also throw the sentiment on this one right away as well. So kind of keeping in mind, I want these kind, I don't want them to go totally out, but I don't need them to be perfect either. We can definitely come down with some other ones and kind of stamp along the edges there. So I'm gonna move that one out of the way. Pick this one up. And then we're gonna bring in our VersaFine Onyx Black. I don't think I'm gonna do heat embossing. You can definitely heat emboss this. Just keep in mind to use a fine detail heat emboss powder, because you're not gonna be able to color wherever that embossing powder is. So just kind of keep that in mind. I think I'm happy with those ones. I'm just gonna come in here. Those ones there. And pop those ones up here. I'm just going to come in with some wings. So I don't really need to color those all the way, but I kind of wanted to add some more butterflies into the scene. So we kind of have the illusion of 5 butterflies. We'll probably only end up with like 3 and some halvesies. And we're good on that one. I was gonna bring in, so Miss Amy gave me the Tailored Expressions. This is like a stamp cleaner. You can buy the base to store it in so you don't get anything on your surface, but it cleans the stamps really good, really fast. And if you've been watching, you know I'm really not great at cleaning them, so it's quick, it's easy. I might actually be able to clean my stamps, you know, as I use them, possibly. There's no guarantees in this, you know, when it comes to me. And I want to add this one on here. I mean, seriously, I could probably pop it down there. Let's see, can I? Yeah, let's pop this one down here, and I won't need to use the other piece of paper. Because it's going to cut off anyways, so we should be good to roll. And I'll just probably hand cut this one today as I make a mess on all the things. Okay. Crafter Lanch. That's what happens when I have a dirty mess. Okay. So for my colors, I'm gonna try to work with these as they're kind of a little bit wetter. And you can definitely go, so I'm going with the darker pink and then of course the lighter pink. And so this one is really going to end up being, I have a lot of the lighter pink on my brush tip here. So you can definitely have a scratch piece of paper, or in my case, know where you're cutting off, so you can just blend that off on the side. But this way I can just kind of come in and add those. So you see the light pink, so I definitely picked up some of this darker pink over here. Just keep that in mind. What else do I want pink? I want. Those ones, that's going to be in the middle, so let's do some pink over here. I don't know how much of this butterfly is going to be on there, so I'll go there with it. go with this one. I just want to do a little, so I'm going to put a little bit on my base, and I'm going to pick that up with my lighter tone. And this will help me control the intensity of that pink a little bit more than if I'd have gone straight on with the darker pink. And then I do try to make sure that I clean the one that I blended with on my paper, so I'm not putting away an already saturated marker, I guess. So I know what I'm going to grab next time. I'm going to do the same with this darker tone. And I'm going to come in with that really light one. So Bristol Smooth is going to be your best paper to do with this one if you have issues. So I was ready to throw these out, I'm not going to lie. The first couple of times I used them, I was trying watercolor paper thinking that I was going to have good results with it, and yeah, I got really frustrated. So for me, the best luck I've had is Bristol Smooth with these. So paper matters a lot. I guess it matters a lot when you're coloring with a lot of different mediums. I always say it with alcohol markers. I think paper matters. It really does matter in all of the things for the most part, but it really matters with knowing what paper is going to work well with the medium that you're using. So I've had good luck with Bristol Smooth. I can't say that I've tried other ones, so I can't give you, it maybe would be okay with like Scrapbook.com's mixed media, might, because it'll sit on top. You kind of want to be able to re-wet your marker colors, so try to keep that in mind, I guess. That would be my tip for you on this one, at least coloring with the zigs and or anything that's going to be like a watercolor marker. I would guess that you're going to get a fairly good one with some Strathmore Bristol Smooth, or Bristol Smooth in general if you don't have Strathmore. I haven't tried all of them. I use Love Nicole sometimes, and that one works really well, so don't feel it has to be Strathmore. I think we're good there. Let's pull this one out with. Ooh. Do I want to? Well, let's try it. So this is that dull blue. So it's going to give me a different look than it did down there. It's not going to get as light. It's going to kind of keep that darker tint to it. And I'm actually kind of not trying to touch my darkest part a whole lot. I kind of want to keep that darker tone in there untouched. Okay. I think we're good there. I think we're good there. Oh, I need to come in here yet. And all of those little areas. I think we're good there. I can't decide if I want to do orange on that one or the blue. I'm a blue girl, right? And so I feel like I should be doing the blues. Alrighty. Do I want to go with the light? I think I'm just going to stick with this one and do little more color concentration there. And then I'm going to come in with the plain, just the blending one, and kind of blend it out a little bit. So I'm just coming in with that clear one, and I'm just going to pull this color into that area. And this is just going to kind of re-wet what's already laid down. I think we're good. Do I want to do... I was thinking of doing orange on that one, so I think I'm going to save that and do orange. Okay. Alright. I shouldn't need those ones. Let's bring in... So again, this is the orange. This is the brown. I don't know if I'm going to like the brown. It's an orangish brown, I guess. It probably goes okay with my paper. So, whoops. I'm going to come in here. Well, I guess I'm going to do all of them. I suppose I should make them each look different, huh? Alright, and then we have the lighter orange tone, and I'm gonna start by pulling it in from the outside, because I can always come back in and work the other way if I want it to be darker. And to get it lighter, if you've gotten it darker, get it wet again, and then like get it wet with this, and then have a clean paper towel and suck that color up into it, or the water up into it, and you'll get a little bit better, a little less color. It'll pick up that color for you. I'm just going to go with the light orange here. I think we're good there. I need to decide on that one yet. Ooh, decisions. I have green yet too. I don't know if I want to use the green. Nobody calls that phone. Nobody's going to answer it. I hope they know that. I definitely have ink all over my hand, and I've spread it on my sheet. I don't think I want to do green. Okay. Let's do I want to do pink? Orange? That one's going to be... Let's do the orangish one again. That's pale pink. I could definitely do peach and pale pink. Let's try that. If you're like me and you pick up, because your hand gets sweaty, and you pick up, put a piece of paper under there. Am I going to at this point? No, because I've already caused trouble. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to put the pale pink over the top of the orange, or I guess pull it out with the orange. And now, whoops. Okay, the last thing I need to do is come in with my black tone, or my gray. That one's dark blue. Where? Is that supposed to be my mid-gray? My gray looks brown. Anyways, okay. So for this one, I'm going to kind of come in here, do where I think it's going to be a little bit darker, kind of on the outsides. And do that on this part as well. And then I'm going to take that clear one and I'm going to pull this all in. And I'm not going to clean it in between here because I kind of want it to pick up that color and kind of get darker. And so this is the easiest way that I know how. And I could definitely put a puddle of that dark gray down on my mat and kind of pick it up from there if I wanted to go with a deeper transition color. But I think overall my tip is going to get saturated enough that I'm going to get an okay blend without having to do that step. I haven't used my zigs in forever. I just wasn't in an alcohol marker coloring mood. It happens frequently around here. Okay, so I think we're good there. I'm guessing we're not going to get that part. So now for my sky, where are we at time wise? Okay, so for sky wise, you have options at this point. You could definitely come in with your water markers and kind of make it look like you have some watery clouds or sky going on. I'm going to go the easy and quick route. I'm just going to come in with my cloud stencil, and this one just has whatever on it already. I'll probably end up refilling it here just a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's Stormy Sky, and it's gonna go, that Stormy Sky is gonna go with my blue tone that I have. So I'm not gonna ink it a whole lot. I just want it to be kind of a lighter background on this one. And so I'm gonna try to cover up, I'm not actually going to cover up my little images here. I'm just going to kind of try to not hit them with that, because I'm using Distress Oxide. If you're using Distress regular inks, you won't have the oxide that's going to lay over the top. They'll just kind of blend into it. I just don't want my little butterflies to kind of lose their colors. And this one. So I'm just going to be careful with my stenciling on this one. I don't know how far down are we going to go. Well, I'll do another layer here. And then once I have it cut, we can come around the edge and kind of hit the outsides. But this is going to give it a little bit of a, at least it grounds them, or I guess puts them in the sky in this case. Okay, I dropped all of the things. I'm not even kidding. Okay, I just say I did push play again, didn't I? Hot Mess Express, here we come. Sometimes in life, I tell you. Okay, I had it out. I set it somewhere. Shh. Okay. Alrighty, I'm ready. So we can go kind of here with it. I'm just gonna trim off this part here because I don't need it. I really trimmed off a lot of my oopsies. So let's see, I'm gonna go further up to trim off some more of my handprints there, kind of make it so you can see where I'm at. Do I need to do, I am gonna be a rebel and not use okay, I'm not going to be a rebel, I lied. I'm going to come in with a little piece of score tape just because it's my luck. It'll probably shift and move, and then yeah, we'll have issues. I'm going to go on the outside though, so I'm not actually touching my panel, so in hopes that I don't have it peel up on my finished panel. So I'm just going to run this through the Scout quick. Alright, so we should have This one looks pretty good. I'm just going to come in on the bottom with my blending brush. I didn't put any more on it. I'm just going to kind of hit the bottom so it kind of adds that little bit of blue. I might have some side of my handprints to cover up on the bottom, and this is going to help conceal them a wee bit. And then I need to cut out my image here. So I'm going to come in with nice and sharp pointy one. These ones are actually called herb scissors, and they're like 3 to a pack for like less than 10 bucks. So if you've been looking, they don't have they don't have the stainless steel blade, so if you're cutting adhesives it might stick to them, but overall if you're just using them for fussy cutting, they work well. It's the exact same brand, exact same scissors, they just don't have the stainless. They don't come with the tip protector, and they're not the anti-sticky. I don't know what those ones are called. But they just don't have the anti-sticky whatever on them. Goo Gone works just fine. Doobie-doo. So my craft room is currently in disarray. We had the very first Roadies retreat the first weekend in March. I don't know when this one's gonna be airing. I'm way far behind on all of the things, as in, you know, catching up on sleep, because I did not sleep the whole time we were there. Maybe three to 4 hours a night if I was lucky, because I was just amped up, man. I think running it, I didn't catch my breath probably until like later Saturday. I didn't sit down. I felt bad for my table mates. I was never there. I think Saturday afternoon I finally sat down and did some one-on-one classes with a couple of people that wanted some instruction on some one was, you know, like a circuit building card, and the other one was a class I taught earlier, but she had taken the other one. And so we had given kits to everyone who took the opposite class, just because that way they could definitely do all of them, which, you know, it's always fun. Do I want to put the sentiment? I kind of want to put the sentiment on there. Okay. Anyways, it was a good time. I'm still exhausted. Time change did not help that, I don't think. Oh man, that did not help. Sometimes in life we think, you know, we always think that we're like not getting older, but that time change sure hit. It didn't help. I got home, and we dairy farm, so the cows don't care what time it is in like our world. They know when they want to get milked, and so they want to get milked at 3:30 in the morning old time instead of, or you know, so we get up for 3:30 old time, which is 4:30 new time, which did not help this girl at all. I was exhausted. I think I kind of like the orange one. I really like, last time we did this one in like that gold, and I thought it looked amazing. Let's see, we could do it in, ooh, that one's pretty. I don't think I have a big enough chunk of that one though. I had to find some beautiful pinks that kind of went with. I'm gonna tell you, this is not one you can buy, because this is probably the actual pink of it, and this is the sun bleached version over here, and I think I'm using the sun bleached version. Not even gonna lie. Sometimes my, you know, love of all things craft supplies that aren't ever gonna get thrown away comes in handy. Okay. At least I'm pretty sure it's, I don't even know where that, I think it's a Die Cuts with the View one, but it's like a non-flaky glitter. It's gorgeous. But I love the whole ombre effect that the sun bleach gives it. I don't know if the rest of that cardstock pack, because it was like a a 12 by 12 like pack from back in the day. I don't know if the rest of it is as sun bleached as that pink one is, but that pink one's sun bleached beautifully. So I have that one out. I don't think I need this one. I think we're using that one. I think we're just using that panel piece on that one. So I think I'm done with this one. And I don't need that one. So we have this one. We got this one as kind of like our accent piece. I probably should have cut it with, oops, that didn't work very well for me. Ugh, I should have ran it through twice. Let's try it from this way. Not me making a mess of things. Okay. Alright. Well, we were good until I did that. Did it stay on here? It did. Okay. I'm gonna glue it back on. Okay, the other part about old papers, sometimes, yeah, they fall apart. It's still pretty though. Okay. Nobody knows. I thought about popping out all of the middle parts, but I really kind of like them inlaid in there, so I think I'm going to glue it like that on there. I want to add my sentiment right on top of my panel here. I haven't decided which one I want to use. I have multiple options, right? So have a beautiful day or thinking of you would work. But I also have spread your wings and spiral. Oh, I mean spread your wings and fly. I said spiral because I'm going to make the center one spin in circles. Spread your wings and fly. We're doing this one right on the bottom here. Let's bring this one back in. I think we're pretty centered on that, so I think we're good there. I was centered on that until I wiggled it. Shh, no comment. Okay. Pick that one up. That one in there. Make sure. I think we're good there. We are going to come in with that VersaFine Onyx Black again. This is also going to kind of hide any of my little hand goobers that I put on there. I know better, but you know. I think we're good with the one and done. Leave that in. So I take that up for a little while. I'm going to get this one already on here. So I'm going to put a dot of the art glitter glue on there, and then I'm going to set this little guy on top of it. And well, I have that one because you want it to dry before you spin it. It's the hardest part of the little spinner thing. So I'm going to push that down in there a little bit, put a drop of glue on top, and I'm going to figure out where I want my little butterfly. I'm going to aim for the center on this one. Am I going to get it on the center? I don't know exactly. And then I'm just going to hold it down for a little bit. I don't have to hold it down a lot, but I want to hold it down just a little bit in hopes that I get it centered. I'm going to move it a little bit. So once you have it like on there, it's gonna free spin. I'm just not gonna like forcibly spin it at this point because I want it to dry all the way before I play with it. It's so hard to wait. Anyways, okay, that's where I'm at. So I did pull this one out. It's kind of like really busy, so I think I'm gonna do this one. I like the bigger one as opposed to the smaller one, but I want to kind of break it up a little bit because I think it's a lot. So I'm going to cut this one down to my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then keeping in mind that this piece is going to go on there, I want to bring in, I think I'm going to bring in the darker blue. Why? Because I love dark blue, so therefore it's just a natural for me to want to go with the dark blue. Let's see, this one I can do a strip. I think I'm just going to do a strip across the top. So if we figure we've got about 1/4 of an inch, what does this one measure? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's like 5 1/8. So if I cut this one to, and this one down is 1, 2, 3 3/4. So if I cut this one to, so 5 1/8 would be like 3/8. So if I cut this one down to, so what did I say? That one is 1, 2, 2, and so it's like here. Well, you know, we could actually measure it. Oh. And then if we go up 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So if we cut this by 3, let's see, does that give us, and then I have to add how much for this piece? Doobie-doobie-doo. Probably like 3 1/2. Yeah, we'll cut it because I can wiggle that other piece around. Okay, so we're gonna go 3 1/2 on this piece. There's not gonna be a whole lot left, is there? Well, I might end up changing my mind. I think we go 3 1/4. 3 1/4. Okay. This one. This one. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Now, I'm going to add this one on there. I'm going to go for my center panel, or my panel to be mostly centered. So I'm just going to kind of come in here. We do cover up a lot of that pattern. It's alright. I think we're busy enough. Okay, I am going to add glue onto this piece first. And I'm making sure to get glue on those little cutout center pieces. I don't think they would pop out, but we always know how we think things aren't going to happen, and then they do. At least to me, they do. So I'm going this route first. And I want to center this one. So I want to wiggle, maybe I want to wiggle it over. We're not wiggling today. Okay, wiggle this one over, kind of get it in the center. Semi-level, eyeball it, because that's how I roll. It looks crooked to me, whatever. Okay, and then we'll pop this one. I'm actually going to kind of I don't know if I want to overlay the top. I am going to put it just above there, just a little bit. And by this point, my little spinner should be dry. The glitter art glue dries a lot faster than the Barely Art glue and some of the other ones. And so I like it because it tends to be a quick dry time. You know, patience. It's a virtue. I have it, but only for certain things. Not so much when it comes for waiting for glue to dry. It's like watching paint dry. Don't have patience for that. Okay. And so then my little butterfly spins. Oh, I bet she's dizzy. Anyways, I mean, you could have done all of that, like those 3 you could have put on spinners. That would have been fun. I like just the one kind of on a spinner is cute. And let's see, I need a card base. Drawer. Spread your wings and fly away. Okay, and I was gonna say, I'm gonna score my card, reinforce it. What do I want for my inside sentiment? I'm just gonna go with thinking of you on the inside, and then of course we're gonna pop a little butterfly on the inside. I'm gonna get ink on my card. Do this one here, this one. We'll start with the thinking of you on the inside part. I'm going to do it in two stamps just because I can get the butterfly closer to it this way, and I can switch my colors because I like making my butterfly a different color. We're gonna go here with it, and I'm gonna pull in like a bright, let's go with Festive Berries isn't the right color. Picked Raspberry maybe is the right color. It's not exact. I'm trying to think if there's, I don't think there's a great Distress Oxide that's going to match that. I'm even looking at Cotton Candy maybe in my close to my heart ones, but we'll go with the Picked Raspberries on this one. It's probably going to give me the closest. It's pretty close to the pink that I used. So get that one. Warm lipstick maybe would have been a lighter tone if you wanted to go lighter than that one. I love adding the pop of color on the inside though, so there's that. I think I'm gonna come in. Oh, I want to do the cute little heart. I love me a little heart trail. Can I get? No, I'm not gonna be able to. Okay. Can't do the heart trail. It's just not gonna fly. Let's see. This one. That one's probably gonna be my better one. I'm okay with covering up my sentiment a little bit, but I don't want to do it a whole lot. So I'm going to go in with this one, and I'm going to come in with that Stormy Sky. A, because it's on my desktop, and B, it'll coordinate with my clouds that I have, and so I kind of like this one to be a little bit lighter on that one. We could definitely go in and add, I mean, I talked about adding trails, but I don't think I'm going to on these, just because It's already popped on my card front, and I don't know if I need, well, I guess we can do them. Let's see. We can probably go here with this one. And that's all. I'm not even going to re-ink it. I think we have enough of a trail on that one to make that one work. And this one, I'm going to have to re-ink it lightly. And I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want it to go down below. I just kind of want it on that one. So I think we're good. Obviously that one's not going to have a trail because it's spinning in a circle. Do we have a spiral trail? I can't talk today either. Okay. Alrighty, thinking of you. And then we can pop our card front on the front here. Not me trying to get ink. See, I started with clean hands. You can't even tell. Ugh. Anyways, there we go. So spread your wings and fly. So we're still using the same one from last week on the compositions die set. It's kind of fun. I like to find new ways to use them, especially if, you know, I encourage you to get one or two of them. I'm trying to think of any other companies that have some, but this one is probably my favorite from the Lisa Horton line of compositions. I know MFT had my favorite one. From there I had, you know, my favorite, and I don't foresee them coming back, at least not in entirety, so I don't know if they'd ever bring that stuff back or somebody else would do it. But there we go. There's our finished card. I love the little pop of glitter up on top. I could definitely see adding maybe some little glitter hearts on there as well, but I'm content with just that little drop of glitter. You could definitely, okay, so we talked about coloring with our water brush. You can also color with your Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen, or whichever one you have. I think I only have, this one's Wink of Stella. You do Wink of Stella, not the gold, obviously, if you have the clear sparkle pen. Keep in mind, if you're going to do this after the fact, right, you're going to re-wet your ink that you've already done, and so it is going to move your ink around. Keep that in mind. You can also use, you know, my favorite, which is the Winsor & Newton, right? So you can also use that Winsor & Newton. So I'm just going to, yeah, see, we picked up some of that pink because I was being messy. But so you're going to pick up whatever color you put this on. So if you're going to do that, I would do it right away and not, you know, forget, like I forget that you can do those things. But I would, you know, you can add just that little bit of sparkle here and there is going to work. But keep in mind, you're working with a watercolor based product. You're going to move that watercolor around a little bit. I'm just going to do very minimal here, but this is going to add that little bit of gloss and shine. I need to clean you before I can wiggle again. And I encourage you to push it out onto the side and not going directly to paper. Mine I have a pretty good control of, but some of them go rogue and give you a big old whoop of glitter where, you know, I'm a glitter fanatic, so I'd be fine with it, right? But if it's going to ruin your image, it's not so fun. So keep that in mind. That would be my tips for you on adding glitter to your zig or watercolor type mediums, and then making sure again to clean off your brush tip. Squeeze it lightly. Don't squeeze too hard. Don't ruin what you've already done. That turned out really pretty. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.